Arthur Wharton was a man of many attributes. As well as being a top-level goalkeeper, he was also a runner, rugby player, cyclist and cricketer. But on top of this, he was also the first black footballer to play professionally. The tale of Wharton's life is a fascinating one, a true all-rounder who served as a pioneer for ethnic minorities in the sport and serves as an inspiration to this day. This is a story of Arthur Wharton, the first black professional footballer. Arthur Wharton was born on the 28th of October 1865 in the Gold Coast, modern-day Ghana. He moved to England at the age of 19 with the intention of training as a Methodist. He had excelled during his time at college in virtually every sport he partook in, and in 1886 broke the amateur world record for the 100-metre sprint, completing it in 10 seconds. On top of this, he was also a keen cyclist and cricketer. Due to his incredible sporting ability, he decided to abandon his Methodist career and take up sport instead. In 1885, Wharton would join Darlington FC, where he would play as a goalkeeper. He impressed and would dazzle the crowd with his ability and eccentric personality. Some spoke about how he could punch a ball as far as players could kick it, and was also able to swing on the crossbar and catch the ball between his legs. Sadly, his reputation did not come without discrimination too. Whilst to some, his skin colour made him a fan favourite, some commentators would often refer to him as the brunette or darkie. His performances caught the attention of Preston North End, who decided to sign Wharton as an amateur. He helped the side reach the semi-finals of the FA Cup in 1887, with one of his performances in the early round being described by Athletic News as one of the best exhibitions of goalkeeping I have seen for a long time. Wharton continued with his all-rounder lifestyle, however, leaving Preston in 1888 to focus on his running career. Unfortunately for Wharton, this meant he missed out on glory, with Preston winning the inaugural First Division title as well as the FA Cup the next season, by going unbeaten throughout the domestic campaign. Wharton, after a year, decided to return to football. He would sign for Rotherham in 1889, this time signing as a professional, and became the first black footballer to do so. He would spend 5 years at the Millers, and in his time there, he would meet his wife, and also become landlord of the Albert Tavern in Rotherham. He would then stay in Yorkshire and move to Sheffield United. He would serve as understudy to another legendary goalkeeper, William Falk. He played 3 games for the club, but was unable to truly cement his place in the team. With one of these games being a First Division fixture, he became the first ethnic minority player to partake in an English top-flight game. After his sole season at Sheffield United, Wharton's journeyman lifestyle continued. He would join Stalybridge Rovers, but fell out with the management, and would join Ashton North End in 1897. He would then branch out again, opening a tobacco shop in Ashton-under-Lyne. Unfortunately, Ashton would go bankrupt in 1889, and Wharton would be on the move again. He would return to Stalybridge, playing alongside a young Herbert Chapman. After 2 years, he would move to Stockport County, where he spent 1 season before retiring from football. Upon leaving the game, Wharton would remain in Yorkshire, working as a coal miner for many years, before joining the British Home Guard in 1914, saying he was willing to give his life for Britain in the war if he was called upon. He would continue to partake in running and cricket, with some saying that even in his 50s, he was able to run fast enough to catch pigeons. Sadly, despite being such a phenomenal athlete, Wharton's health began to deteriorate. He suffered from alcoholism, combined with syphilis and cancer. Wharton would die penniless on the 13th of December 1930 in Springwell Sanatorium at the age of 65, and was buried in an unmarked grave. In 1997, Wharton's grave was finally given a headstone after a campaign from anti-racism group Football Unites, Racism Divides. In 2003, he was then inducted into the English Football Hall of Fame. Arthur Wharton was a unique character, and it seemed there was nothing he was incapable of when it came to sport. Whilst most of his career was spent as a goalkeeper, he was even deployed on the wing on a couple of occasions too. His ability to perform in many different sports is a testament to who he was, but on top of this, he was also a pioneer. He was able to overcome the prejudices of the time and help black sportsmen find a route into playing professionally. Despite the racial discriminations he would have faced, he was able to rise above them, and not just excel in football, but rugby, cycling, running, and cricket too. Arthur Wharton's story is inspirational, and shows that even with all the hatred that unfortunately exists in sport, talent and determination will always win over bigotry.